Welcome everybody! Welcome back to our annual video on what's going on with this channel. April this time around for 2022. I don't think I've done any repeats for the months so far, but maybe that'll change since I'm pretty much out of early months at this point, but you know. In any case, as you can see from what I have playing in the background, I do have some Grawl news, but let's go ahead and start with our accomplishments for the year so far. Since I last did this video, we did the entire Endwalker expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. It didn't take me very long to do that at all, and then I kind of took a break from it, but I'll probably be back with probably some more side stuff, as there hasn't really been a whole lot of big things going on there so far. We did start on the Morrowind expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to be definitely getting back into that, because I haven't done any videos on it lately, but I am happy to be getting into the expansion work after doing all those DLCs that were in between the base game and the first expansion. Other than that, we did finish up Nightmare Tide for Rift, that expansion, and that's another one I'll probably have to get back into because I never know how long Rift's going to last for, which is the unfortunate thing. It's legitimately probably the most likely on the chopping block out of everything I do, so but at this point I'm in a zone that's in between expansions, the last one we did and the only other expansion left to do, and I'm not sure exactly how the last expansion is going to go for us, because I definitely probably need the equipment for being able to even like really getting in there and doing anything for it, because apparently there's a pretty big gap of stuff between Nightmare Tide and I don't remember offhand what the last expansion's name is, but yeah, I think those are pretty much the big things. We've been doing Wallfall Devon. Up in the, like, later 30s questing at this point. I believe the questing only goes up to 49, so we're actually not too far from, like, getting everything done, but we'll still definitely probably have, like, just another year of, like, going through that, I think. But, yeah, those are the accomplishments offhand that I can think of. We've done a little bit of progress with other things as well. We've done a bit of Ur Kingdom, though I haven't played too much of that lately either. I think last year, was it last year or the year before that, we went through, the last expansion of Destiny 2. I don't quite remember. But we do have the Witch Queen going on, which I've started, and we'll definitely be doing more of that in the future to finish up that expansion, and then seeing from there, probably doing the season stuff, which I'll probably have to get on here fairly soon, because I don't know how much time I have left for it. Probably at least another month or two, but as far as things in the future, this is usually the part where I ramble on about things for like 10 minutes, and half the stuff, maybe even more than half the stuff, I don't even actually end up getting to. Things end up coming up, or I end up changing plans, but my plan for the future is to do a Tierra playthrough. I've been wanting to do a Tierra playthrough for ages now, and Tierra's like has a huge amount of content. It gets like a big update every 2 years or so, I think, at this point. But yeah, I think it's definitely time to do that, and then probably after the Tierra playthrough, I might attempt another Minecraft playthrough at that point, because I like survival games for this channel. I haven't done a lot of them because I've mostly stuck with MMOs, but I do like survival and like simulation playthroughs for this channel. The next thing I want to do Sea of Thieves. Super fun game with what I played of it. Just nice, like, very casual Seal the Seas for the most part, but it does have its moments of like high tension and stuff like that going on. Like you get attacked in the middle of the water, and with some of the stuff it's really hard to get out of on your own, which I've been doing it solo so far, so it's definitely been an interesting thing. You get these like big chain quest things where you have to go figure out a mystery and find out where you have to go next and all that, and it's really fun, I have to say. And then lastly, I also want to go back and do another Endless Online playthrough, which is another thing I've talked about quite a bit. And reason I want to do that is that my Endless Edge playthrough is like 10 years old at this point, I think. Like, legitimately, it's like 10 years old, maybe even 11 at this point. And that was back when I wasn't doing, like... I don't think I was even doing, like, 720 type of, like, window. I think I was just, like, doing 480p at that point or whatever. And I had some other issues with it. Not so much with the game itself, but I didn't really understand the idea of, like, volume control with it. Like, with the hardware I can use now, the software, editing software and stuff like that, I can turn the game's music down quite a bit. But just overall, it's something I've wanted to redo, and I've wanted to do it with the original game, as it's been... I'm actually very surprised by how the community of Endless Online has kept itself going for so long. They've generally been, like, repairing the game and maintaining it and making sure it works with newer software. Because last time I heard about it was, like, years ago, and they were saying that it wasn't running in Windows 10. But apparently it runs completely fine on Windows 10 now, so obviously they've been keeping it updated for newer hardware and whatnot. That's really nice to know, and since it's been like 10 years since I last played the game, I definitely don't remember like huge parts of it anymore, and so it's actually going to be like fun to go back into it and like be like, okay, what do I have to do here? Do I remember what I have to do? And stuff like that. So it has a little bit of that questionable like bits and pieces of it, at least, where I'll have to like actually take swings at things and seeing if I remember or not of what I'm doing, so that'll be fun too. And here's the part where I would say that this is all like potential, but actually I'm actually doing a plot twist here, and we're actually releasing the start of those three playthroughs this month. For April, I'm doing the plot twist of the fact that I have 7 videos of Terraria, Sea of Thieves, and Endless Online going out for April. That's 21 videos of new content for 3 new playthroughs. But here's the thing that I have to like talk about here, is that I actually had a 4th one in mind, and that was to do the Grawl Online Classic server, part of Grawl Reborn. But I have not been paying attention to that whole situation this entire time, and it seems Grawl Reborn is completely abandoned. Their server's still up, but the servers just don't quite work correctly. Some of them are just stuck in loading, they never go through. The Grawl Classic server I was going to do a playthrough on, and that you're seeing footage of from right now, because I did get a little bit from the very beginning, is it's up, you can access it, but there's something wrong with the NPCs, who are the ones that are able to move around and not just stand still. You can't interact with them at all. So once I got up to the beginning castle of the story, it was completely shot. There's nothing I can do with any of the NPCs to move the story along or anything like that, and I can't leave the starting area essentially without having progress through that castle. So the only way I'll get to do a Grawl Classic playthrough of the version that I want is to either, at this point, hope that at some point whoever's running that server would come back and like fix that issue, which I guess perhaps might happen. I have no idea how often they check that server or whatever. But the whole like third-party server thing that's running on the Grawl Reborn thing is I think it's pretty much abandoned, and the servers are just things that I think are just left up because people maybe forgot about them or something. Because half of them don't work, and the other ones seem to have issues in-game, so... the only thing that seemed to work was there was another version of Grawl Classic on there, but essentially from what I was reading from the summary of the server, it's more like almost like a museum, I think. It was saying that somebody went through and like patched together like tons and tons of different segments of Grawl Classic together, of like one of the very earliest versions of it. And so that might be neat to go through at some point and record for me, but I don't think it would be for this channel. It doesn't sound like it has actual like questing content. I think it's more like, as I was saying, maybe like more of like a museum type of thing where we just walk through it and get to see how neat it was from how good it was back in the day. But yeah, that really sucks for me because it's completely my fault that I didn't actually go and do this earlier on, because I know for a fact that maybe like, I don't know, a couple of years ago that it seemed like those servers did in fact work, and I should have done it then, but The only alternative would be for me to be able to figure out how to set up Grawl Classic for an offline server type of thing, but I'd actually have to probably find somebody that would help me with that. And I have nowhere yet to even begin to look for that, but apparently it's technically possible from what I understand. So maybe it could happen one day, but I have no idea. At the moment, I'm thinking maybe of going back to the official Grawl servers, and maybe like, I actually saw the Unholy Nation was back up again. Maybe I'll do recordings of that for some channel, but I was thinking about maybe doing a playthrough at some point of like, I think it's either like Grawl Zodiac or like Grawl Delturia, I think it was, or something like that. I don't know, they seem like they're the only ones that might have like actual... There's Grawl Kingdoms as well. I think technically that might have like actual playable stuff with it. Like, some of the servers on there are just not so much for... They don't really make for a good playthrough, I guess what I'm saying is. Like, Unholy Nation would be a good thing, like almost like a museum type of thing again, because there's not really any questing really going on in there, as far as I remember. But, yeah, that's pretty much my update on Grawl. It's sort of like a... The Grawl Classic part of it, at least, is kind of shot at the moment. It's not going to happen anytime soon, I guess. Which is unfortunate, because that was supposed to be the 4th playthrough of this month that's coming up. And unfortunately, since that's not happening, I won't have a 4th new thing right away. I'm probably going to save that for later on in the year to have something new. I have no idea off the top of my head what it might be that I might do with it, but assumably something like in the later half of the year I'll have another new playthrough that make up for that 4th new one that was supposed to happen. But since that didn't happen, the 4th playthrough of April is going to be 7 videos of Eldeven, because people seem to enjoy the Eldeven playthrough the most out of the channel at the moment. I'm not going to lie, that's definitely the one that seems to get the most views. So, since that works out perfectly with being at part 93, by the time of April's done, we'll actually be right at part 100. So that's actually a nice little thing I didn't plan, but does work out. So it's going to be Tierra, Sea of Thieves, Endless Online, and Eldeven for April. My plans for after April, probably for May, is going to probably just be a lot of Destiny 2 and maybe like some Elder Scrolls Online and Rift. Because those are 3 I'm probably thinking of like getting playthrough of the most after April's done. And then after that, we'll probably go back to being just like more of a mixed schedule again. I don't have a bunch of like Final Fantasy playthrough videos to jump down anybody's throat anymore since Endwalker's done. I did kind of just like push out a bunch of those, but I figured get them all out as soon as possible, you know. But yeah, for the later half of the year, I don't have any particular plans. Like I said, there'll probably be a new playthrough at some point in the later half of the year. I'm not sure what it'll be. I mean, Shores of Hazaron might end up being, I'm not quite sure, because Shores of Hazaron apparently just came back up after being gone for like a year and a half or something on those lines, and I actually would really like to be able to go back to that, but I'm kind of also thinking, you know, I'm already redoing Endless Online at the same time, maybe I shouldn't do it right away, but then again, it's like, will Shores of Hazaron stick around, that type of thing, you know? I really gotta play my cards with that, because I don't really plan on, once the playthrough gets a do-over, I don't ever like plan to really go back to it again. Like, once we're done with Endless Online, I'm not going to do another playthrough of it again, I don't think. Like, maybe the other private servers, maybe, but once, I've already done the original twice, well, technically done the original twice. But yeah, I think that's about it for my yearly video. Like I said, I wanted to do something nice and be like, not just ramble on and like never deliver, so I did want to like have some new stuff ready, and I'm happy to say that I did accomplish that. I'm actually still working on the 11 videos as I'm doing this at the moment. I only have like half of them done, so because it did kind of take me by surprise. I was going to do the Grawl ones like towards the end of the month after I had the other 3 done, and whoopsie, that didn't work out, so I'm kind of playing catch up a little bit, but since I have everything else done, it's not really an issue, so. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do hope you guys enjoy the playthroughs on the channel. And hopefully we'll have another nice little year of stuff going on, so I will see you guys then. and enjoy all the new content and playthroughs.